Who's been a pretty busy boy is TV star and monster croc wrangler Matt Wright, who's been hunting for a massive crocodile in Indonesia for the past few days.
The croc's had a car tyre stuck around its neck for years, and the Indonesian government called in Matt after local crews were unable to free the animal. And Nine's Asia correspondent Renee Henry has been following all the action, and she now joins us from the island of Palu in Indonesia. Good morning to you, Renee. Have they been able to catch this monster croc yet?
Good morning, guys. Unfortunately not. For about 3.5 days now, these true blue Aussie blokes have been throwing everything at it, but at the same time, this intelligent croc has also been doing everything not to be caught. The conditions haven't been ideal either. A full moon, fast-flowing tides, a big noisy crowd always gathering around, and the international pressure is on these guys. That's because just in the past month, this crocodile made global headlines as the government here offered a reward for its rescue. There were a few failed local attempts. The reward was called off, but that's when our Aussies moved in.
From the Northern Territory to Palu, Indonesia, Matt Wright and second in charge Chris Wilson are aiming to achieve what no one's been able to in 4 years.
There he is.
Catching and freeing this big salty of his unusual necklace, with fears it'll eventually choke him.
Have you done a tie around the neck before?
A tyre around the neck? No, I haven't. This is definitely a first, but I have caught a lot of crocodiles.
That he has for their hit show on National Geographic. Now, far from their backyard, the daring duo scrambled to make a trap and get it to sight the Indonesian way, only to find a croc that's just not hungry. So much so, fishermen take to the water unfazed.
Because there's such a big food source drifting down the river from upstream. There's dead goats, there's dead cows, there's all sorts of dead things floating in the river, so he's a pretty fat, well-fed animal, and he's not interested in our bait.
As the crowds of curious locals grow bigger by the day, Matt and Willow have become experimental, dangling bait from a drone in a bid to attach a buoy to the uncooperative animal. Instead, with a splash, he retreated below.
Setting off at night might be their best option. If they come across the croc, they can spotlight it, temporarily hindering its sight, allowing them to move in close and capture the animal.
They managed that, just not with the wanted croc. Instead, deciding on a dress rehearsal to show local helpers what to do ahead of what they hope will be the real deal. Until then, opportunity to decide on a name.
Michelin croc. But what about, there's a lot of other tyre companies out there too, like Dunlop croc or,
Wondering why the Indonesians care so much about this crocodile, and that's because in these parts crocodiles are believed to be their ancestors that they must look after. There are about 15 in this part of the river, some thought to have been lost during the devastating 2018 earthquake and tsunami in this region. But look, if there's anyone to get the job done, I know it's Matt and Willow. They are determined to do so. I get a message from them at 6 a.m. each morning saying they're hitting the river. They go through till midnight. And at the very least, they're hoping to pass on their skills to the local wranglers here.
Renee, it's a real-life adventure, isn't it? Can you? This is probably a stupid question, not that that ever stops me. How did it get the tie around itself? Did it eat a Jeep?
Well, look, there's a few different stories that go around. We know it's been on there since 2016. Some locals say that there might have been a bit of a game going on one day, maybe some kids that were just, throwing the tyre out, trying to hook it. That's maybe how it happened. But yeah, no one's absolutely sure. I guess it's all about just getting it off now.
Great stuff. We'll look forward to your update.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Renee. Appreciate it.
Yeah, he's actually out there right now taunting us.
The croc, yeah.
The croc, well, careful.
Yeah. Watch out!
Watch out behind you.